amid reports that everybody at NBC News knew that Matt Lauer was, at least, a serial adulterer and, at worst, an alleged serial sexual predator. This question has emerged: why did the network spike Ronan Farrow's explosive, months-long expose of Harvey Weinstein? Farrow, a contributor for both NBC News and Lauer's Today Show, went to his NBC bosses with what has turned out to be one of the most consequential pieces of journalism of the past year, if not the past decade. His expose on Weinstein's alleged sexually predatory behavior helped launch a national reckoning over sexual abuse and gender power dynamics in entertainment, politics, and American workplaces. NBC had the first shot at the story but said no thanks. Farrow took his story to The New Yorker, which published it in early October. NBC's decision to let this story go seemed baffling at first. But in the light of Lauer's firing for alleged sexual misconduct, the decision makes sense. Or it has at least raised a host of questions, such as this one asked by the New York Post's Michael Starr. Did NBC know that, in Lauer, it was harboring its own tainted star, and that Farrow's Weinstein piece could, perhaps, lead back to a co-anchor of its cash cow morning show? Vanity Fair's Sarah Ellison spoke to a former colleague of Lauer's who put the Farrow decision another way. They were sitting in a glass house and they knew it, the former colleague told Ellison. This colleague helped fill out Ellison's report, which described how everybody knew about Lauer's behavior with women, including NBC's top brass. As the longtime host of NBC News' most profitable show, Lauer had become one of the network's most powerful figures and its most recognizable face. He has been prized and protected by a succession of NBC News presidents, Ellison wrote. One of his protectors likely includes NBC chairman Andy Lack. Ellison said Lack is a longtime friend of Lauer's. He ended up making the decision Tuesday night to fire Lauer after receiving a formal complaint that was serious and specific enough to warrant losing his biggest star. The allegation related to an inappropriate sexual relationship that started when Lauer and the female staffer were covering the 2014 Olympics in Sochi. Since then, at least 2 more women have made complaints to NBC, The New York Times reported. Variety also said it had interviewed 3 women who say Lauer sexually harassed them. According to these multiple allegations, Lauer exposed himself to a female colleague, forced himself on women during ostensibly work-related meetings in his office or in hotel rooms, and generally used his position at NBC to silence victims and stay in power. In a statement, Lauer said that some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized. But he acknowledged that there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I don't know what everyone is so surprised by, one high-level industry source told Ellison. This has been going on for months and months, and everybody knew it, and it was just going to be which girl came forward, and who reported it first. Variety on Wednesday also reported that Lauer enjoyed considerable editorial clout over what stories would ultimately wind up on the Today Show, and perhaps at NBC.